Hi, I'm Maria from Crochet A to Z. Welcome to my tutorial, and I want to show you something really great that you can make. And all you need is 3 granny squares, your crochet hook, your scissors, a darning needle, and some fabric. So here we go. I'm going to show you. This is what I originally made with my 3 granny squares, and this was a couple of decades ago. And out of this I made, and you'll see that there's fabric in it, and there's fabric inside as well. I made a sewing kit out of this 3 granny square pattern. But you can make so much more with this. I made another one today, and you can make, and here's again, there's a nice fabric. You can make this for your earpods. You can make a nice little place to put your earpods and to carry wherever you go. And it's made with 3 granny squares. And here's another one right here. This is a bigger version of it, and this is for my crochet stuff. You can put all your little gadgets in there. You can carry it wherever you go. And again, it's made with 3 granny squares. Fabric, and that's all you need. So I'm going to show you how to make this. And it's real easy. You can make a lot of them in a day. You can give them away as gifts. You can sell them at various venues. So I just want to show you how easy it is. I'm going to show you, I do have a tutorial out there on how to make granny squares, but I'm going to just show you a couple of rows on how I made the granny square. And I did use an eye hook, and I did my slip knot, and this is all with acrylic yarn. You can use any kind of yarn you want. You can use cotton if you want. So I chain 4. For anyone that hasn't made this, or hasn't crocheted before, this is not a chain. Your V's are your chains. And this is your slip knot. That is not a chain and is not counted. You're going to go into your first 1, 2, 3, 4th chain from the hook, and you're going to make a slip stitch. You're going to chain 1, and you're going to go right into the center of it, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Right in the center here, and you're going to make your double crochets. And what you're going to do is you're going to make 3 of them. 2, 3. Your chain does not count as anything. Your first chain. Chain 2. You're going to make 3 more double crochets, and you're going to make 4 clusters, what I call clusters, and you're going to make them all inside that circle. Chain 2. So I want you to see. Make 3 more right inside that circle. And what I do is I try to wrap that end right into that, and then all you have to do is cut it off. You won't have to weave it, because you can weave it as you go. And I do that every time I make something, especially in the round. So here we go. Chain 2. And you're going to make 3 more. Those of you, again, that have not ever made a granny square, I do have a tutorial on how to make it. It's a seamless granny square, that's what I call it. And you chain 2. And also on how to, and at the top of that first double crochet, you do a slip stitch. And for anybody that doesn't know how to do the double crochets, you can go on the tutorials as well. I have that. Chain 1. You're going to make 3 double crochets in this corner for now, because you're going to see as you go along, because these are your corners. So now you're going to chain 1, and you're going to go in here, and you're going to make 3 double crochets. Now don't forget you're in your corners. Sorry, I just grabbed more than I should have. You're going to chain 2, and you're going to make 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, so 3. See your corner? 3, 2, 3. 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Chain 1, you're in the middle. So now you're going to go to your next corner. You're going to make 3 double crochets. I'm going to just pull this. And again, these are your corners. Chain 2, 3 double crochets. You're going to chain 1. You're going to go to your next corner. You're going to do 3 double crochets. Chain 2. Three more double crochets because you're in your corner. And there's also a tutorial on how to change colors. So if you don't want to make it one color, you can watch the tutorial if you've never made a granny square. And I do have one on how to change colors. I have one on how to do one color. So you can just follow that, chain 1. Now you're going into your, you already made 3 double crochets here. So you're just going to make 3 more in this corner. So see, I just want to show you. See where you made the 3? That's when you, so you're going to go in here and you're going to make 3 more. And I'm visual, so I like to show everybody visually what I'm doing. And I don't like to go fast because I want you to, you know, see it. Because there's nothing worse than me going too fast where you can't follow it and you have to keep stopping it and starting it. So now we're going to chain 2. And we're going to go into the top of that first, that double crochet. And sometimes that's tough to do, but that's okay because I crochet very tightly. So I will be the first one to tell you that it's tough for me to do. So now you chain 1 and you keep going. And that's how you start your first, that's how you start your square. So this is how you start your granny square and just continue. So again, if you want to see the full tutorial, there's 2 tutorials there, one for changing color and one for doing a full same color one. So now that, say you have all 3 of your granny squares made, you sew 2 granny squares face to face and you sew them together at the edge all the way around, and you keep one spot open. Now, what you can do, and I've done both on this. I've sewn my fabric before, like this one, I sewed it on, and then I sewed it together. And I've also done it where I've sewn it together and then put my fabric on. You figure out what's easiest for you. The other thing that I found that I've done is I've sewn just the top and the bottom, and I've left the sides unsewn. I've done both, and I'm preferring this way better, that you don't have to do all 4 sides. But again, that's up to you. It's not going to move if this is nice and tight. So I'm going to show you that you can see the little stitches, and I wanted to show you the little stitches that I did. And you just tighten it up really nice. And I wanted to let you know that I've used a cotton thread to sew these, and I've used quilted thread. But I also found, and that's up to you, whatever you prefer, is this Coats transparent thread, and it's a transparent thread, and you can't see it. So it's up to you what you prefer. Either way is fine. I don't prefer one over the other, but I wanted to let you see the options that you have. Also, you can buy fabric quarters. I got these at Joann's. You can buy these to use for your insides. I like lining them because the stuff is much better when it's lined. Or you can buy something like this, and it's also, they're pre-cut and they're nicely edged, and these are pre-cut, and I bought this at Quilt Works. And there's 42 squares in here, and they're cotton, 100% cotton, and it tells you 44 by 45 wide, 5-inch squares. So it's up to you. This is what I used for these. When I originally did this, I cut my own, and I actually did use the fabric quarters. So that's totally up to you. But the ones that I've made yesterday and today, I made with these. And they give you all kinds of different, so whatever color you're making, they coincide. So that's totally up to you. And you don't have to use the same, same one. You can fancy it up a bit, and you can make it your own. And you can get kind of, and this is the bigger one. So, and see and the fabric is a little different. And the other thing I wanted to mention to you is the smaller one is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows. The larger one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. 5 rows of 3 granny squares. So that's what I wanted to mention on that. And then once you sew that together, I want you to see what it looks like. You sew them together. See how nice it looks? It's very nicely edged. And when you put your stuff in there, like I said, whatever you want to put. You want to put you want to put your crochet hooks if you would make a bigger one like this one. Or if you want to use it for your ear pods like I did with this one, that's fine. These can be made and used for various things. You can make a small, a kit with it for, like I said, your sewing. You could put various little things that you have, like your ear pods. You can put your wires for your, various things that you have, such as your phone. You can put all your wires in it, depending on how big you make it. And you can make these as big as you want. And with this one, I put all my crochet stuff in it. So you can use it for a lot of different things. So these are very versatile. And you can also, if you wanted to, you could put a little button on here and, have a little things where it would close. So that's a closure, a button closure. So that's, again, up to you to do. And there's, like I said, there's various things that you can do with this. So now I'm going to turn this inside out. And I want to show you. Now, when you put this on, you are also going to line the inside of it as well. If it's the one that has the 4 rows, you can use one of these and then just sew, you know, you can sew it, but you can iron it a 1/2 inch all the way around so that it fits inside the smaller one. And then you just sew it all the way around. And that's what I did with this one. I sewed that all the way around because it's not like the inside one. You want that all sewed all the way around. And you can do that before or after. I did this flap after I added it. So that's what I'm going to show you. So this is your flap. And you just have to make sure that you line it up. And you have to make sure that when you turn it inside out, that the right side is showing with the right side of this. So you have to sew this from the inside. You know, you got to sew it so that it's inside out. So now what I did was, and I got a long enough needle, put a little knot at the end, and I don't double it because this yarn is very thick, so I don't double it. I just knot it at the end, and I start sewing this. And what I do when I sew these, whether it's this flap or these, I make sure that this lines up with the other side when I'm doing this 2 sides together, so that they line up. And I'll show you what I mean by that, because when you put your finger in there, they line up, and that's what you want. So that's what you want when you add this one as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to start sewing it together. And what I do is I put my finger right in there, and I see that that's lined up, and then I start putting my stitches through, and I grab enough, and like I said, I don't use, you know, the double thread. I just use that, and I go along, and I will start sewing that. And I'll even catch that little knot that I made. I'll catch that so it sews it right into that. And then I go right across and I grab everything that I can, those top, almost like you could say those top V's, and I sew them right across. I grab them and I just sew them. And this is a nice, and see where I'm saying I put my finger right in there so I know that that's going to line up, and I keep sewing. And I'll sew this right across, and I'll keep going across. And like I said, these are so useful for a lot of different things. I originally made one for a sewing kit, which I will say that I use all the time, and you can carry it with you wherever you go. And then now it's like there's so many things that you can use with them and use them for, that it's not just a sewing kit. It's, you know, your earpods, your wires for your phone, and so much more. First aid, a little first aid kit for your pocketbook. A makeup kit, a little makeup kit that you want to make for your pocketbook. So there's so many things that you can make with that. And I'm going to tell you something else that you can make with that. If you grab the bigger one and you have small children, small grandchild, granddaughter, you can make them a nice little pocketbook with this. So you can make them in nice colors that they like and make little pocketbooks for it. And you can put a little straps. And I'm going to be doing a tutorial on on that as well. So little things that you can make for little kids, such as different stuffed animals and different things like that. But that also can be a little pocketbook. If you wanted to make a little evening bag as well, you could buy a little, a really nice, metallic yarn, a black, if you were going out at night, and you could make a little pocketbook with that. So there's a lot of things. You could make a change purse out of it. And like I said, you could put a little snap on that, and it would close it right up. And see what I'm saying when I'm doing this? I'm making sure that that lines up. You can just put your finger right in there and have it line up. And you can make a lot of these in one day. So don't be afraid. And in different colors. So this is a nice one-day project. And then if you have to, and you're seeing where something has come loose, you can always fix it. And here we go to the end. And you're going to line that right up. And you're just going to keep going until you get to that little corner. And I like to make sure that it's like right at the end. And then what I do is I make a little knot. I make sure it gets knotted. And I tighten that up. And I go around. And then I get this, my needle, and I go under there. And I make sure that I just pull that, because you're not going to need, you let that go through. And then all you do is you snip this. And you've already integrated it into your little thing. Now, you're going to turn this back to the right side. and you stick your fingers in the corners so that the corners and the sides are nice and I happen to end this with the same colors, but I've done this with the two different colors, and you can't even see where you used two different colors. So right in here, you can't even really see. So they come together really well, like with this one, two different colors and sewn together, and they come together and they look really, really cute. So that's what happens there. Now, that's the flap that goes over. Now, if you don't want to put a lining on that flap, that's entirely up to you. But if you do, if you want to just put a button there, which you can, and use this as your buttonhole, you could put a button there and close it, and that would be it. And you could use this for various things, such as an iPad, iPod, earpods. You could use it for your phone wires, and you could use it for makeup. You can use it for various things. If you want to finish it off, all you would have to do is get whatever color you want to get. If you want to get a corresponding color, you would put that on there, and that fits perfectly. And you would just, like I said, you would just sew it all the way around. Because this is, and I'm going to show you, because this is the bigger one, this will fit nicely on here, and you won't have to cut it. if you want to use this on there, you can, all you have to do is a 1/2 inch all the way around, and you would just sew it all the way around. Or you could just take it in on one side and it would fit. So I did all 4 sides, and I just did it like a 1/2 inch all the way around. And then I pressed it with the iron, and then I sewed it on so that it would have this look. And then if you need to, you know, look at your stitches and say, well, this doesn't feel right, or I want to make this a little tighter, you can, and you can make it look just the way you want. And see where where I did the stitches, where I put this together, it's uniformed and it looks really nice. So that's up to you how you want to finish this off. You might want to just leave it just as is, but you might want to finish it off with, like I said, the fabric. And that's what it would look like if you have the fabric inside. So I wanted to show you this project. I thought it was a really neat project. And like I said, I thought it was something that you could use in your daily life. And you could give it to somebody and give it to them and say, this is, you know, if you know they crochet, you could make them a big one, and you could put a crochet hook in it. You could put little gadgets in it and give them to them as a gift. If they knit, you could do the same thing. Give them to them as a gift. If you wanted to make, as we did, or as I did, if you wanted to make a cute little, you know, one for sewing, and as a sewing kit that you take with you if you go away or whatever, you could do that. Or you could make one that has your wires in it. It has your little pods in it. It has everything you need in it. So like I said, these are really cute. They're versatile. Depends on how big you want to make them, and it's up to you. And they come in handy. They're really cute, and they're a nice gift to give. They're nice to make for yourself. They're nice to sell at a bazaar or a summer fair. So this is Maria from Crochet A to Z. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot more coming from Crochet A to Z. Tell your friends that I'm here, and please help me grow my channel. And for those of you that have subscribed, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. And please send me comments on things you'd like to see going forward. I love the feedback. And have a great day. And this is again Maria from Crochet A to Z. Can't wait to see you again with the next video tutorial. Really interesting stuff to come. Thanks. Bye-bye.